Hello you guys. I'm finally doing a book video. All of my books are over here, so it looks like I literally have nothing on my shelf. Anyway, I'm gonna be giving y'all a little book haul, updating y'all on some of the books that I bought this year and some of the books that I've already read, and kind of like my May TBR, I guess. Let's just start off with my book haul. Okay, first of all, I did buy Hsieh by Madeline Miller. This book is like a Greek mythology retelling. It's a fantasy. It's kind of like a literary fiction, but make it Greek mythology. It's so good. As well as this one. Like, this was fire, but it was also very heartbreaking. This is The Great Believers by Rebecca Makkai. Other books that I bought this year: Bunny by Mona Awad. I've heard so much like weird stuff about this book, and I really want to get into reading Mona Awad just because she's one of those like weird authors that you should read. Like, all the hot girls are reading her, so I have to. Then Sula by Toni Morrison. Bookworm Nye really likes this book. She's actually the reason why I bought this book, and I can't wait to read it. This is going to be my first Toni Morrison book. I may read this book in June. I don't know. I'm really excited to read Toni Morrison. I definitely want to read something written by her this year. Then I have Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. This one is a book that was recommended to me by one of the booksellers at one of my favorite bookstores, Blue Cypress Books. I have bookstore merch literally hanging up right there. I love them with my entire heart. So one of the booksellers there recommended this book, and I bought it. Same with the next one, which is this was another book that the same bookseller recommended. So yeah. Then the last thing on my little book haul is Memorial by Bryan Washington. All of the people that I trust with my entire heart has recommended this book. Interested in Black Books has recommended this book. Aunt Carly has recommended this book. All of the hotties that I trust. So I can't wait to read this one. Again, this is going to be another summer read for me. I plan to read this one in June or July. Okay, now that I'm done with the little book haul, I'm going to give y'all a little TBR rant stack, whatever you want to call it. So before we get into my physical TBR, which I have right here, we are going to talk about what's on my Kindle that I plan to read. I kind of want to read Shoko Smile by Choi Eunyoung, My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante, if that's how you say it, or Ferrante. Ferrante has a little bit more flavor, so I like Ferrante. So we're going to go with that. And then River Sing Me Home by Eleanor Shearer. I'm so sorry I'm butchering literally everybody's name that I'm talking about. Those are the books on my Kindle that I plan to read maybe in the month of May. I plan to read them this year though. Then my other current read is Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. Okay, on to the rest of my physical TBR. I'm kind of trying to go in order of the books, in order of like when I plan to read these books. The book that I plan to start once I finish Conversation with Friends and River Sing Me Home is Disorientation by Elaine. Chou? Disorientation. I'm so sorry, baby. I can't pronounce this. I'm really excited. It's like chaotic academic trauma dumping, which I'm always here for. So I plan to read this one like stat pronto this week. Then I have To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. I read Mrs. Dalloway earlier this year and I loved it. I'm not gonna lie, I ate it up. And I know this one, the main character dies like in the middle of the book, and Virginia Woolf kind of writes the setting and the people and the creatures around this character grieving the character's absence, if that makes sense. And I just would love to see how she did that, because this woman can honestly do whatever. Like, she can do whatever she puts her mind to. if we're being honest. So yeah, I plan to read this one very, very soon as well. Then I told you I love Cersei, so I got Elektra by Jennifer Saint. I plan to read Ariane. Obviously, I'm going to be listening to the audiobook as I read because I cannot pronounce any of these characters' names. But yeah, this is what the cover looks like. I know it follows 3 sisters, and it's a Greek mythology retelling centering women. I love Greek mythology, but I don't want to read about Greek mythology men. Respectfully, I don't want to read about Zeus. So I know I'm going to eat this up. I know I'm going to eat it up. And then the last book that's on my TBR is a romance, and it is the second book to one of my new favorite series. Obviously, like, I only read the first book to the series, but one of my new favorite series, okay? And it is Astrid Parker Doesn't Fall by Shearer and Blake. Lila Green Doesn't Care. So good. So good. If you're new to my Instagram, you're new to my podcast or anything, you just now met me, let me introduce you to my reason for living. These are my children. Delilah Green Doesn't Care literally gave me the same feeling that these 2 books gave me. So obviously I can't wait to read Astrid Parker Doesn't Fall. And this author is releasing the 3rd book to the series. Iris Something Doesn't Date or something like that. I'm going to put the cover right there. And I can't wait to read that. If a publisher is watching this or if the author herself is watching this and you're looking for somebody to send an art to. Yeah. That's everything that I just wanted to talk about with you guys. I just wanted to make a little long form video so we can all just chat. Like, comment down below some books that you bought recently. Comment down below your TBR for May, or what's the next book that you plan to read? What's one of your favorite reads this year? Let me know. I honestly like to talk about anything book related. It doesn't matter to me. And if you have any opinions on any of the books that I talked about that I bought or that I plan to read from the library, please leave a comment because I always would love the extra motivation to get through the books that I check out and buy. I'm going to see you guys in my next post, in my next podcast episode, in my next video. Probably tomorrow because I'm on here on a daily basis, low-key. Bye!